Yo, Soul Group. I know I gotta cut this shit off. I know this shit ain't okay. This shit ain't all the way okay, but look, we don't care about appearances in this group. We don't care about appearances. We don't give a fuck about all that shallow shit and everything like that. We're here to talk about the spirit and everything like that. And that's what we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna be talking about some spiritual shit today. Basically, I just want to talk about my interpretation of these planetary alignments. Get my own interpretation, you know what I mean? I got an energy drink. I mean, I know they say energy drinks aren't necessarily healthy, and I'm not here to even tell you that this shit is healthy. But the energy signature, you got orange and you got blue. So you got blue, which is communication, you got orange, which is wisdom. So you got I'm communicating wisdom in a lot of different ways just by, programming the actual energy drink, to work into my favor. And since we're drinking and we're going into the fluid realm and everything like that, we're talking about emotions now. So now when it comes to, wise communications, it's being filtered through emotional, through moon energy, basically like that, through, water energy, basically. Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancerian energy, playing out in that kind of aspect, basically. So with that being said, I'm going to talk about my interpretation. So sun is in Aries and the moon is the full moon actually is in Libra. So we got our reactions in cardinal air, and we got our sun in cardinal fire. So we got a tug of war right now. Or on the positive end, this could be, this could be a harmonious relationship with our own passions, or just having passionate relationships in general and everything like that. But that full moon could, it could tip over because, that glass is already full. Just like I just opened this drink is half full. If I tip it up just a little bit, all this shit's gonna fall on my lap and everything. So, you want to kind of tap more into that opposite sign, which is actually Aries. So you're really, whenever there's opposing energies in general, well, basically what I was trying to say is that you even playing into the full moon energy, you have to play out that opposite energy because, since the cup is full in that sign, you know what I'm saying, you want to play a give and receive energy, the opposite magnet of that energy, so you're not playing pushing away energies, you're playing conjunction, coming together kind of energies. So that's when you would take that moon and you would play it into the opposing sign, which would be Aries. So in that case, what you would be playing out, the energy you would be playing out to kind of be in a harmonious state of being is you playing out your actions. Our actions are already playing out, Aries energy, which would be, lighting the spark and everything like that, like lighting the match. Or if we want to talk about, visual things, because fire is, when we talk about the elements, fire rules like more so visualization and shit like that and everything. So this would be like, you creating, the picture right on the spot and everything like that. Just like how Capricorn is like the blueprint, since cardinal earth, so it's creating a new way of how to be practical and to, solve a problem and everything like that. So that metaphor will be played out as a blueprint because you're drawing out the solution to, what needs to be foundated on. In that case, it would be a house, but, in our situation, it would be the foundation of a particular situation, or a problem. But with Aries, it's initiating a new idea and a vision. So it's like it's kind of like drawing out the blueprint for a drawing, and then but also playing it out at the same time. Actually drawing it out at the same time and adding color to it at the same time. So that's where our actions are at. That's what we're playing out. That's what other people are seeing from us. Other people are seeing this canvas that we're, playing out and drawing this unique picture. And, since we are playing out full moon, and since not even half, but the whole world is fucking lost and everything, it plays out besides our soul group. So, the whole world is lost besides us and everything like that. So everybody else is playing out full moon in Libra, but, we have to be smart and we have to know to play out. We have to be conscious of it, but, we have to still play out subconsciously, the moon being in Aries, which would be we are subconsciously reacting to, what the canvas that we're, showing to people, our exalted ego and everything like that, because the sun is exalted in Aries. So that's our picture being put on a pedestal and everything like that. And we're very proud of this image that we're putting out to the world and everything like that. And we can't really be washed up into what other people's reactions, whether we're being unrelatable, because, we have the full moon in Libra, which is the relatable energy. So, what I'm saying, half of the world is going to react to the full moon energy to want it to be relatable. And if people aren't resonating with your exalted pick that you're putting on a pedestal, it's going to play out in a full chaotic energy. Now, how you react to that shit, that's going to be, we're a soul group. So we got to actually react to, we just got to stay on our own page and everything like that, which is reacting to the creation that we're creating and everything like that. So that's how you play out, that energy when it comes to just, the full moon in general. 1 second, y'all. So then it can also play out, but when I was playing out, was like Uriel actually gave me this little science during a live when I just kind of just like threw out like a planetary alignment. And basically what he said was like, the example I used was Saturn opposed Chiron, and he said kind of do a switcheroo energy. So it's like you put your Chiron where your Saturn is, and you put your Saturn where your Chiron's at. So then it's playing this give and receive, not this pushing away energy and everything like that. It's actually playing out like a, you're actually taking the opposing energy and actually putting it to the side that it needs to receive on and everything like that, if that makes sense and everything like that. So, well, I'm not really going to get too deep into my alignment, but I have Saturn in Pisces and I have Chiron in Virgo. So, for a lack of a better word, you would put Saturn in Virgo and you would put Chiron in Pisces. So then depending on what you know about those energies, you would actually just play those energies out like that in your head subconsciously to rectify any opposite energies that you have. So that's how you would do that. But damn, we just went in on just the sun opposed the moon. I'm not going into every single detail, but I'm just going into main aspects and, main planetary energies that are just playing out in general and everything like that. Also, we also have a grand air trine in the sky also. We have a grand air trine in the sky. So this is between our Mars, this is between our Venus, and this is between our moon. We got Mars in Aquarius, we got Venus in Gemini, and we have the moon in Libra. So the way this trine is playing out, it's a harmonious flow. So it's a harmonious circuit. There's no shorts in this circuit and everything like that. We got a whole constant flow of energy flowing through this wire and everything like that, which is an air wire. So, this is our socialization skills and everything like that. This is, our friendships and everything like that. This is people we're associated with, and this is people that we can relate to and everything like that. That's the whole air trine in general, on a whole ladder note on that. So the way it plays out, the way this triangle is playing out is, you have the top. Now, I would say that the leading role of this trine is the moon, because the moon is, our state of awareness. This is who our true state of being is and everything like that. So you have, and plus cardinal signs in general kind of just bring in to this realm the actual element of that particular trine and everything like that. So that's another Uriel science also. And then, you also play out that energy, and then, you kind of follow the trine as so. So with this case, you got the moon at the top, which is Libra. So the apex of this air trine is going to be relating, relating our emotions and everything like that. We're going to be relating how we feel and everything like that to people and everything like that. This is a natural square energy because Libra squares Cancer, which rules the moon, or the moon rules Cancer is what I meant to say. And so yeah, that's a natural square energy. So this trine energy, as far as this being the top and the apex and everything, this is going to be the leading role of the trine energy, of the harmonious flow of our socialization skills and everything like that. The face of it is going to be relating our emotions and everything. And then on the side, you got Venus and Gemini. Now this is going to be appreciating our friends and everything like that. So also, not even just our friends, but just light communication, because this is mutable air. So this is being able to, talk to everybody. This is, the jack of all trades when it comes to businessmen, and when it comes to, having a bunch of friends and kind of being a little distant. I don't want to say so much distant, but it kind of plays out that, because the trine energy with the, the air signs and whatever element it is, they all kind of share the same elements because they are part of the same trine and they are part of the same family. So Geminis, they're very friendly, but sometimes they can get caught up in some particular friends at the kind of moment, because it is light communications. And it's a very fast, ruled by a very fast moving planet, which is Mercury and everything. So, You know, sometimes Geminis aren't even thinking, keyword thinking, they're not even thinking of it like that and everything. They're just, it's kind of like there's in so many thoughts and everything like that, sometimes it all kind of blends in with one another and everything, which creates this little haze and everything. So one of my best friends a long time ago was in Gemini, so I can kind of relate to this energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, always still friendly and everything, but just when certain friends that, you know, that were maybe had certain interests that he was in more so than maybe less than what I was into, then it would be kind of like a magnetation kind of energy where he would be magnetized to that kind of thought, because keyword those kind of thoughts that those people were resonating with. But that's just natural Gemini energy, you know, you can't help that. So that's another reason to not, you know, really judge people, because if you understand people's energies, then you'll know how to just ride their wave. And then at the end of the day, when you go to bed and you go to sleep in your bed that you made, you know who you are at the end of the day, and you know that you're just interacting with these bubbles in this particular world. So that's how this works. So Venus is playing on the side of this trine. So this is relating to our friends and everything like that. So yeah, you know what I'm saying, like, kind of like the energy in general is just based upon relationship relating in some sort of way and everything like that. And you know what I'm saying, like, and just the love of, and kind of like in a negative sense it could play out as the love of relating too many gossiping kind of trends and everything as far as this side of the trine, because the next side of the trine is the Martian side, which is Mars in Aquarius. So you know, there's still a harmonious flow, but where the passion and where this could kind of go extreme is in the area of associations and people we may not be familiar with and everything like that. Kind of like playing out energy where you're with your people that you're familiar with and your close friends, aka the third house. But then you go take that into the 11th house, people you're not familiar with and everything like that. This is that similarity that the 11th and the 12th, not the 12th, but the 11th and the 8th house have with each other when it comes to the area of unfamiliarity. It's just that Scorpio, aka the 8th house, plays it out more so as internal unknown shit, like deep subconscious shit that, you know, that gets triggered by certain things that you remember in your head and everything like that. Kind of like, well, that's kind of more so like the 12th house, because that's your deep subconscious. But you know, the Scorpio is also deep too, because of that Plutonian energy and everything like that, and your deep desires and everything. So that's kind of how that energy plays out and everything. But you know, the 11th house, the unknownness of the 11th house kind of plays more so into like just being around people you're not familiar with and everything like that. So it plays out in a different energy signature. That's just Aquarius energy in general. Just, it plays out a slight uncomfortability, but it's like kind of tolerable in a lot of different ways, if you understand what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, that's where the passion could play out. That's where, you know, our deep passions could play out. Not our deep passions, that's more so Scorpio, but you know, Mars also rules Scorpio, so it is our deep passions. You know, Pluto is more so deep passions, but you know, we're gonna play this out at the same time in the same energy and everything like that. So Mars is like kind of like the soldier of this, you know, trine at the same time, you know what I'm saying? So this trine in particular is a very humanitarian kind of energy right here, you know what I'm saying? We definitely have the ability to jump into a bag, and you know what I'm saying, like, it's not going to last forever because the moon's going to move into Scorpio fairly soon. So, and then we're about to have a grand water trine when it comes to our Mercury, our Neptune, our moon, and then our north node, which is Cancer, but that's another video because we're not there yet. I could break that down another time, maybe later on today, maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure. Maybe when the moon actually goes into Scorpio, I'll break it down. But anyway, so that's the trine right there. We have the ability to jump into that bag of, you know, being there for people on the positive side, and you know, on the negative side, we got to make sure we don't fall into the, you know, to the pocket of gossiping, or you know, in a lot of ways, since you know this is heavily based in, you know, the librarian. There's no coincidence why they're both the same kind of energy signature. That Libran kind of energy is what I meant to say. Then, you know, that's saying that moon in Libra, and then, you know, Venus in Gemini, and Venus rules Libra. So that energy is still playing out in the same frequency. So you could also indulge at this time in a lot of different ways, you know what I'm saying? So try not to indulge too much. Try not to indulge onto social media so much. Try not to gossip too much on social media too much. But on the positive side, you can help out some friends during some hard times right now at this particular time. So just jump into your bag right now. Just make sure you know what you're doing. The spiritual shit ain't a fucking joke and everything like that. So with getting that out of the way, let's talk about Mercury. Let's talk about that energy spectrum right there. Mercury is still in Pisces, so Mercury doesn't like to be in Pisces, so Mercury is fallen and away at the same time. So it's like daydreaming at work, basically, like that. So it's like it's not even paying attention. It's like at the office, it's got its feet kicked up and everything like that. It don't have the computer on. It's not paying attention. It's like, God damn, bro. I just want to be in my spiritual bag right now. I just want to be creative right now. I just want to go and draw. I want to make my beats. I want to play my guitar. I want to get in the booth right now. I want to get into the drawing board, literally, you know what I'm saying? I need to get into the film studio. I need to start, making these, like, little animated figure. I need to start, you know what I'm saying? Creativity in all different kind of ways, aka the 12th house, aka Pisces. But daydreaming about it and you're at work at the same time. You're in a place you don't want to be right now. So I definitely understand this energy because my Mercury is not only retrograde, but it's also which having Mercury retrograde doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to play out Mercury and Pisces energy and everything like that, but just the fact that it's playing out for me, it's like exemplified and it's like noticeable and everything like that. But I have Mercury in the 12th house. So the way I have to express myself kind of sort of is like through drawings, through music, through vibrational creative kind of imagery and everything like that, and emotions and everything like that, and make people feel a certain kind of way. As opposed to just, me, there's my mama right there. I just noticed that. As opposed to me just, that low-key kind of threw me off. That low-key kind of threw me off a little bit, but, as opposed to, like speaking regularly, like, hey, what's up? But, like, instead of speaking regularly, like a speech, like someone giving a speech, or, like a debate and everything like that. Like, that is not my shit at all and everything like that. Even though I love to do research and I love history, was one of my favorite subjects growing up in school, which subconsciously I think a lot of that has to do with it being very relatively easy and everything like that. But there's a lot of different reasons, because I still love history to this day and everything like that. But yeah, that energy playing out right there. It's going to give us a harder time trying to express our thoughts in a lot of different ways, and, having certain conversations. You might be trying to get some off your chest and everything like that, but you maybe have a hard time and everything like that because Mercury's in Pisces, so, I'm saying, it appears dreamlike and everything, or you may appear like you're too much in your own world and everything like that, so people may not receive you the right way. People may kind of feel you, but they'll think like you're kind of coming off too strong and everything like that, depending on what you're talking about. So you just got to be careful. And then Neptune also being there, which Neptune's at home in Pisces, but it's kind of like it's like an in between. It's like people don't know. It's like people feel that super creative side of you, but then Pisces is also fallen and away in Pisces. So it's like kind of like a double-edged sword of like people don't know, but on the sword is a beautiful sword. It's a beautiful blade. It's a beautiful rainbow blade and everything like that. But it's just people don't want to touch it. People don't want to fuck around with it and everything like that. People don't want to be around it and everything. People are thinking you're gonna get hurt or get stung. People just don't want to fuck with it and everything like that. So that's how it can play out and everything. So the way that energy plays out is well, not the way that energy plays out, but that is the way that energy is. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will see you as a creative blade, but, people won't understand because it's like a double-edged sword, which is that fallen and that away aspect. It's like you're daydreaming. So it's like, do I want to get near this person, or am I going to get sucked into a daydreaming-ass portal and everything like that? So just be careful with that energy. So now we're going to get into Saturn. So Saturn is still on, that cusp. Saturn's still on that cusp of Aquarius and Capricorn, so this is building the foundation of a unique blueprint and everything like that, because, Saturn is how you see the world. Saturn is building the blueprint and building the foundation and building the concrete slab for you to build your house and everything, which is Taurus. You know what I'm saying? Because Capricorn is the start of since it's the cardinal sign, it's the start of that Earth trine. So you got Capricorn, the blueprint, and then you go down to the trine, and then you got Taurus, which is fixed Earth, which is the house actually being built and put into fruition. And then you have Virgo, which is, that's like kind of like house inspection and everything like that. You come into the house, okay, everything's built, but then, then of course you got to put the wiring in and everything. You got to do the plumbing. You got to put cabinets in and shit like that. Put doors and windows in. You got to do these very detailed things now that the foundation and now that everything is secured. The skeleton for the actual, shit that needs to be put in there is built. Taurus. But it had to be drawn out first, aka Capricorn. So that's just how that energy plays out. So yeah, Saturn is that's how you see reality. That's your foundation, that's the blueprint. So it's in that Aquarius Capricorn cusp. So Saturn is already at home in both these signs. So it's kind of like, hey, I'm like outside the way. One thing Uriel described is like, okay, here's an example, here's a metaphor of how like home planets work as far as like when it's in its yang sign and its yin sign. It's positive and it's negative sign. When it's in its positive sign, it's kind of like in the living room. It's like socializing with everybody and everything like that. Not necessarily socializing, but just being in the moment with people and everything. But the yin side is it being in its room and being to its own private, secure self and receiving shit and everything like that. And being comfortable in that own space. So with that energy, it plays out, okay, here's an example. Mars is the masculine side of Mars is what I meant to say is Aries, and the feminine side is Scorpio. So Mars in Aries, this is like, you hear the stereotypical astrological newspaper stuff of Aries being sports people. So I'm just going to use that as a mundane example, even though it's not necessarily true and everything like that. I'm just going to use it as an example. That would be Aries, you know what I'm saying? It's out in the open and everything like that. It's on the field and everything. It's like out in the open and everything, but let's use another stereotypical example for Scorpio energy. Scorpios are freaks. Scorpios are sex addicts and everything like that. That's another stereotypical newspaper horoscope forecast weekend astrology fact for you right there. Fake ass astrology fact for you right there. But you still gotta kind of respect, the foundation, because we all kind of learn from the newspaper shit. But we all know now that it's like kind of bullshit. But what I'm saying, it's like a slight appreciation you have for the foundation that you build on. You know what I'm saying? It's like the learning process. You appreciate the actual learning process and kind of appreciate the fact that you knew that was bullshit, and the fact that you found a better, more valid description of how this shit actually works and everything like that. I just realized how shit the lighting makes me look like a fucking ghost, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just because I lack melanin don't mean I'm a demon or I'm fucking devil or evil or everything like that. That's a whole nother video. I don't even want to get into that shit and everything, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Saturn in Aquarius and Capricorn. So it's like it's kind of like it's on its But yeah, that's what I meant to say. It's like that's the stereotypical side of Scorpio, sex and everything. You're in your private space, you're in your bedroom and everything like that. Or you could combine them both. You can get freaky and you can fuck in the living room. I don't know. I mean, but there's gotta be nobody around unless you're doing porn or some shit like that. And you got people by no choice but to have people recording and fucking on the director chair and everything like that. I'd be mad uncomfortable. I don't know. But my energy ain't even into that shit and everything like that. So that's not even me. But forget I even talked about that for any reason and everything like that, but there's just some funny shit. It's just different metaphors, explaining this shit is just funny as fuck and everything like that. But yeah, so the way this energy would play out is like you're kind of listening to everything that's going on in the house, but you're like at the edge of your door. Your door's open and you're kind of like sitting at the edge of your door, just kind of like, and then communicating with people in different houses. Like your mama's room might be on the fucking side adjacent to your room and everything like that. A lot of houses, at least in my area, are designed like that and everything. Children's houses or young people's room is like right next to their parents' room and everything like that. So that's usually how that energy plays out. So you're communicating. It's kind of like you're communicating with everybody and everything. So it's like Saturn is definitely kind of picking up on a lot of different energy at the same time, but it's still moving towards now. Even though we got Saturn going retrograde again soon back into Capricorn, that just means, you know, it's like Saturn is going to be at its door. It's like listening to everything. It's like, okay, I need to pick up on this, learn this, And then once Saturn goes retrograde, it's going to go back into its room, take notes, meditate on everything that it just heard and everything like that, and absorb it. And then once Saturn goes direct again, then it's going to go full force into Aquarius and everything like that. And it's going to be like, then it's going to start communicating with people, and it's going to start knowing the details, and then it's going to be able to comfortably express itself in Aquarius. So Saturn's going to be able to comfortably express itself into Aquarius whenever it goes back into Aquarius after this retrograde, if we're on the positive side of energy and we're not, you know, being in an old negative spirit about it and everything like that. So what the fuck? I skipped a planet. Yep, I skipped Jupiter. I skipped Jupiter. So Jupiter's fallen because it's still in Capricorn right now. So Capricorn, cardinal Earth, the blueprint, like I said earlier. So with Capricorn, this is like your street smarts. This is like what you learned like throughout life and everything like that. These are like the experiences that you built throughout life to create, you know, the wisdom that you have now and everything like that. The wise guru and everything like that. That's why they always say, like, the older people, you know, older people are wise because they have experience, because they've been around longer and everything like that. It's not book smart. It's not shit you could learn in a few days from reading a manual or a book, aka Third House and Gemini. But it's like the shit that you got to go through. You got to actually touch and, you know, get to the nitty gritty and like actually like get a feel for everything. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's that ninth house energy. That's how that opposite energy with that third house and that ninth house energy plays out. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna start making videos where I'm gonna start going live now, because I really want to chop it up with y'all and everything. And I think that'd be really fucking dope to really go live and really just chop it up with y'all about these energies, because, you know, I'm more connecting with y'all as a soul group and everything like that. Like I just found my twin flame. Shout you out. You know who you are. You know who you are. Twin flame vibes and everything like that. You know who you are. But who actually requested I do this video, actually, so shout you out. So good vibes right now. So, you know what I'm saying? So it just, I'm sorry, I got distracted by these people, you know, outside and everything like that. So yeah, you got Jupiter right now. So this is your street smarts and everything like that. So yeah, this is your street smarts, this is your experiences, but it's being placed in Capricorn, so it's being placed in the blueprint. So it's kind of like, you know, the way Capricorn works is it has to be a realistic kind of energy, you know what I'm saying? It has to make sense, because it's Earth, and it has to have a real true foundation. Sometimes you have to even play it by the book and everything like that, regardless of what you think you've learned by from experience and everything like that. Pardon me. The reason I can understand this energy is my father is actually a Capricorn too. Sun in Capricorn. That's the only Capricorn he has in his chart. Now, I love my family genuinely and everything like that, but I'll be lying if I said there was negative traits. That is very genuinely obvious in this motherfucker and everything like that. Not talking ill, but I'm just stating facts and everything. So, very dry and everything like that. Very unrelatable. But you know, I'm not even here to talk about that. I'm not even here to talk about that, to be honest with you. So, but the reason I brought that up is the fact that I can understand this energy to a T. And I have Venus in Capricorn, so I can still understand, you know, aspects of this energy, except the way I may filter